It's it. It's over.
Oh, nunes.
Oh, Jesus.
So I think when I look at the two of you, it's the most compelling fight in the UFC and in women's MMA. I believe that's the most compelling fight, because you're both at the top of your game, and there's an argument for both of you to be the greatest of all time. When you have competed at 135 pounds, was that an issue? Like when you went up to 135? Well, your first fights in the UFC, there was no 125-pound division.
Yes.
So, like when you fought Holly Holm, when you fought Amanda Nunes, these fights are all at 135 pounds. Did you feel when you were in that division that you were just a little undersized?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I was a smaller one.
Yeah.
And for 135, I never was worried about cutting weight.
What did you weigh at when you weighed 135? Did you walk around at like
Walk
135?
around. This is my walk weight right now, like 135. This is I walk, and if I stop to train for like 1 week and eat every day, 138 might be maximum. But with the training, it's like 135, 36. So yeah, and definitely it's. I didn't experience any problem fighting 135, but definitely I would have to think more about strategy for the fight. Being smaller, you cannot. You have to think about different tactic, how to approach to different fighter, because sometimes you will have enough power to break them, sometimes no. So it's kind of like yes or no, maybe, and you have to have your backup plan, and you have to have your body ready for different game plan. That's why it's I didn't have problem to fight in 135, but I every time was to think about something extra things.
Do you foresee a possibility of you competing at 135 pounds again? Because Amanda Nunes is kind of running out of opposition, and you're kind of running out of opposition, and you both had epic fights against each other. Do you think that that's possible?
As there is only one possibility why I move up to 135, and this is it.
Yeah. Do you think that could be the case someday?
I think so. Why not? It's gonna if everything gonna continue like that way, it's just gonna be inevitable.
Yeah. No, there's obviously some great talent in the female division of the UFC. Was Amanda Nunes your most difficult fights?
I never was considered difficulty of the fight, only for the fight, for these 5 rounds or less. For me, difficulty of the fight, it's combination of training camp, your approach to the fight week, and the fight itself. So I still cannot answer this question. I think it's the hardest question, and every time people ask me what is your hardest fight, hardest opponent, and I just cannot answer because it's so different. Each fight, it's a different approach, different training camp. Everyone is difficult with their own style, something like that. That's why hard to say. Hard.
What is difficult about Amanda's style?
Her size is
Size?
It's not her style. It's not her style. It's just she's big and heavy.
Yeah, and power.
Everyone has power. Everyone has power. If we are speaking about 135 weight class, everyone has a lot of power. But Amanda, I think she's just big than anyone, bigger.
You think she's bigger than the rest of the division?
What is walk weight? What is her walking weight? 160, 170? I don't know.
Is it really that big?
I don't know.
Well, she does fight at 145, and she looks the same at 145 as she does at 135. And obviously at 145, she's able to knock out Cyborg.
Yeah. It's kind of what about the knockouts? Everyone has chances to knock out each other. So it's just it's 50-50. It's the situation. If, for example, you have interchange, the chances are more for each one, right? But you have to you have to fight very smart. You know that small gloves, it's more possibility to be knocked out, or you make the knockout. So if It's kind of like or you gonna hit or they gonna hit you. So it's kind of like this is what I saw in their fights. So it was interchange, and this interchange who's on that moment were more lucky.
If you had a long time out, like if the UFC said, "Here we are," it's we are in October. If they said Valentina August next year, we would like you to fight Amanda Nunes. That's going to be this big super fight. Would you try to gain weight? Would you lift weights? Would you do anything differently? Or would you just concentrate on technique and strategy and maintain the same weight you're at now?
We are in October and August.
Yeah.
Do you know anything? They gonna approach me with this?
I'm gonna try.
I'm not gonna do anything special to lift up my weight.
You wouldn't
No.
start working out
No.
and lift weights?
No, because I don't believe it's gonna help. I believe it's gonna be worse for the fighter, because if in your whole life you was like certain body type, you know how to carry like certain muscles, amount of muscles, and then suddenly for last 2-3 months you start to carry way more. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna be slower, you're not gonna have same resistance for the whole fight because you have to carry more weight on top of you. So I will do the same. I just want to do the last day weight cut for what I do for
Right.
125. I'm not gonna lose this 6 pound. What is like
That's
what I
what you do for
yeah.
130,
And
125.
I just will eat normally as I do and train the same ways as I do. Valentina, would you fight her? Yes. Valentina, would you fight her? Yes. Her? Yes. So it was like the way I am. It is the way I am. I'm not choosing my opponents.
Right.
I'm not looking for some like easy fights. I want to fight with the best ones. That's why I just not picking one. I just wait when you see gonna like, okay, this is your opponent.
Well, it is an unusual situation though. Like I said, you are in this position that's very similar to like many of the great fighters that are dominant champions, where you don't have one person who stands out.
I think that there is a lot of girls. It's a lot like in 125. It's the most comfortable weight class for females. Like 125, it's not too big, not